Hey y'all, welcome in. If you don't already know, my name is Regine and I am the founder of Melanated and Misunderstood. I'm so happy and grateful and appreciative of all of you that are joining me. Please share it with your friends. Gonna get started really quickly. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing well. It's a little rainy where I am right now, so that's been kind of making me, chill out a little bit. All right, and I'm back. Had to fix my sound. Please let me know if you can hear me, if you can't hear me. Again, I appreciate all of y'all for joining me, whether you're joining me live or you're joining me after the fact. I really, really appreciate y'all for being here. Just to tell you a bit about what Wellness Wednesday is and the purpose. So one, I really liked how Wellness Wednesday sounded, and I felt like it would be pretty catchy and pretty memorable for everyone. But I wanted to just take a day out of the week to be even more intentional about wellness. So a couple weeks ago, I released a guided live meditation, and so that was what I did for that Wellness Wednesday. And so today I'm just coming to talk to y'all about racial trauma and how it affects mental health, giving you some more personal kind of experience from me, what I've been going through and how I've been coping with it. And hopefully it'll be helpful to y'all. I see all the love. Thank you so much, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. And so just stay tuned. Different Wellness Wednesdays, I'll be doing different things, and I have a lot of cool things planned for y'all. So stay tuned to that. And I got my little notes right here. So if I look down, that's what I'm looking at. Just trying to keep the flow. But like I said, this is super impromptu, super random. It's just something I felt like I needed to talk about because it's definitely affecting me a lot. And so I didn't think I was necessarily the only one. So I just wanted to come and talk to y'all for a bit. It won't be super long, and I want it to be more conversation style. So please, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them in this little box right here. Just let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what thoughts you have about the topic, or if there's anything that I say that you have a question about or you want to know more about. Please just don't hesitate to put it in the comments there. So just to talk a little bit about what is even racial trauma? So there are a lot of different ways to define racial trauma, and I want to make sure that I'm not invalidating anyone's experience, or I'm not saying, oh no, that's not trauma, that's something else, or that kind of thing. So to me, or to define it in more layman's terms so that you can understand, racial trauma is really anything that comes from an experience of racism. So it can be, you could be experiencing discrimination, you could experience police brutality or hate crimes, microaggressions, racial profiling. Those types of things can lead to racial trauma. And so it's really anything having to do with race or racism, and it leads to different stressful things that we're going to talk about a bit more in a few minutes. And so racial trauma can be experienced both directly and indirectly. So the ones that I just mentioned, the microaggressions, the racial profiling, hate crimes, police brutality, discrimination, all those type of things, verbal abuse, all those type of things can be experienced directly. And so you can have racial trauma as a direct experience, and you can also experience it indirectly. And so that's mostly what I'm going to be talking about today, because I haven't experienced any necessarily directly, but I still am experiencing symptoms of racial trauma based on the things that I've been experiencing indirectly. And so some of those things, which I'm sure I'm not alone in, are traumatic videos. So I'm not going to be specific because I don't want to trigger anyone, but just a lot of the videos that we've been seeing on our timelines lately, or news stories, or even on the news, can be very traumatic. Just to experience that, even though it's indirectly, we're still experiencing it. We're still feeling those emotions. And then all the different hashtags. So it seems to me like every other week there's a say her name, or say his name, or say their name. And so that can be very traumatic as well. So that's another thing that you can experience indirectly. And then news headlines, like I said, just watching the news and then seeing another person has been murdered or another person has done this can be traumatic. So those are things that you can experience indirectly. So for me, how it shows up for me, it shows up for me in a few ways. Thank y'all that are still coming in. First, it shows up for me with anxiety. I know with COVID and everything that's going on, a lot of us are already on edge and we're already super anxious about what's going on because we have no control over anything. And so on top of that, a lot of us are dealing with this racial trauma and dealing with the anxiety and the worry of, I'm worrying about my own safety, my personal safety, worrying about the safety of the people in my family or my loved ones or my friends, so different things like that. And feeling like our lives are constantly at risk. Our lives, when I say our or we, I'm referring to Black people, Black and brown people. And so just that anxiety is constant, and having to cope with that and figure out ways to maneuver around that and still get through my day and still do the things that I need to do has been a big challenge for me. But I'll let you know a few of the ways that I've been coping with it a little later. Another one of my experiences that racial trauma has presented in this way for me is through fear. And I'm one of the type of people that I never want to live in fear, but definitely the frequency of these posts that we've been seeing, everything that's going on is just really wild. And so just that idea of, I don't really want to leave my house. I don't really want to get pulled over. Like, what if I get pulled over for a taillight being out or really anything? Just that type of fear that is really a result of the anxiety that I'm having, the worry that I'm having. And then just interacting with cops at all. I could see a cop walking down the street and I won't even really want to make eye contact with him. Or I'll find myself wanting to walk around that person or just avoid contact with them altogether. And so that fear and that avoidance that's fueled by my anxiety is, detrimental to my mental health and detrimental to my emotional health and the way that I can basically move through my day. Anger is another big one for me. And I'm not really the type of person that expresses anger outwardly all the time, unless I'm like really, really mad. And now since we've pretty much been on our own a lot recently with COVID and everything, I've been mostly to myself. And so all these angry thoughts go through my head. I'm angry at certain people that I'm not gonna name. I'm angry at maybe one group of people or an organization or just the system. And the way that the system is set up makes me angry to think about how my people have been cheated out of so many different things, and we're continuing to lose our lives. It makes me angry. And I'm sure I'm not alone. If I'm not alone, please, like I said, please let me know if you're able to relate to any of this stuff. But yeah, I get angry. And like I said, I'm not the type of person that shows it outwardly. I won't really fight. I won't fight people. I'm not going to say won't really fight. I won't fight nobody. I won't cuss nobody out because that's energy. And you got to protect your energy. We'll talk about that later. But just knowing like I have this anger that's building up inside of me is incredibly harmful to not just my emotional health and my mental health, but also my physical health as well. And so a lot of times I could feel myself getting sick. I could feel myself not, just anger eats you up. And a lot of these emotions that I'm experiencing are making me my body react in certain ways. So I have to find a way to cope with that anger and channel it into something or some other emotion that is healthy. And then deep sadness or depression in some instances, just crying, basically, just to be blunt with y'all. I've had plenty of nights that I've been so upset to tears, really, because I may feel like, we're never going to be free. We're never going to have all the things that we deserve. We're never going to get justice, whatever that word actually means. And it's frustrating. And so that frustration, when it doesn't show up like anxiety or fear or anger, it shows up like sadness. And so just know if that's also your experience, that you are not alone in that. And for me, the sadness, when I'm not necessarily crying or whatever, I may feel a sense of disconnect, and not even disconnect from random strangers or people I don't know, or just America. You know, I may also feel a disconnect from the people that I'm close to. I might not want to talk to anybody. I might not want to reach out for anybody. And when I'm in those moments, it may feel like I'm by myself and like I have no one to talk to, but that's not true. And I, of course, notice that when I get out of that moment, but I want y'all to know that if you feel that way, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed by anything, by racial trauma is just really taking a hold of you, reach out, you know, just connect with somebody that you know cares for you. So find somebody in your circle that you know is going to be there for you, is going to support you, is not going to ask you why you crying all the time. Like, you need people who are in your corner that can see like, okay, my friend is upset, my friend is frustrated, how can I help them? And sometimes help just looks like sitting with that person. The person may not want to talk about it at that time. So don't try to like pull it out of them, but just let them get to it on their own and just be there, be that ear for them when they're ready to talk. And then finally, the last thing, I put this as the last thing, but I feel it at different times really, is what I want to call a call to action. So really, to me, this is that emotion or that feeling that I get when I've gone through the anxiety, I've gone through the fear, I've gone through the anger, the sadness, all those different things, and I'm ready to enact some change in the community, in the world, in, you know, in America. Like, we all have that idea of like, okay, we need to start changing the world. And even if we can't do that exact thing, we can find what we're great at, find what we are gifted in, what we've been given as our purpose, as our calling, and we can do those things. I know for me, this shows up in, it used to show up in how I would compare myself to other people. So I would see people marching in all the protests. I would see people going door to door. I would see people donating all this money. And I'm like, I want to do all those things, but one, I may not have the time to do. I may have other things I need to do. I may not have the funds, which, yeah, I may not have the funds to do that. There's just different things. And, you know, life happens, and life is definitely happening to all of us differently. So just knowing, okay, I may not be able to show up for my people in these areas, but where can I show up? Where can I help out? And so what I'm doing literally right now, talking to the Black community about different ways to cope, or helping people feel seen, or really just spreading the word and spreading awareness, you know, anything from sharing a post to driving to another state to protest. Like, whatever works for you, whatever you can do that. But do the best with what you have. Don't feel like somebody is doing this and that's what you're wanting to do, but you can't do it, so you're less than them, or, you know, you're not doing your job. Even if as a person of color or a Black person, if you can't get out to every protest, that's okay. And don't make anyone, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm yelling at y'all. I'm sorry. I'm just really passionate about this, but don't let anybody make you feel like you're not doing enough. Like you're not doing enough, because you are doing the very best that you can do. That's literally all you can do. The best that you can do is all you can do. So don't ever feel like you're not doing enough. And I could go on for days about that, but I'm gonna keep it short. And so just some of the ways that I've been coping. The first one is really rest. Rest, rest, rest. I cannot stress it enough, because I feel like we aren't doing it enough. And I also feel like we have, let me see how I say this. So COVID-19, I feel like slowed us down a lot. And I feel like, as someone who just believes everything that happens for a reason, I saw this as an opportunity to go deeper into some of the things that I was interested in doing, that I may not have had time to do if things were just business as usual. And so one of the ways that I cope, you know, is knowing that, okay, there are all these things that I want to do. I'm so interested in doing all these different things, but I also need to just chill out sometimes and sit down, or take a nap, or go to bed at a decent hour. Like, rest is super important. And I've learned that through graduate school. Hey y'all, through graduate school, through regular undergrad school, even through my whole life, I've learned that rest is super necessary. And I've learned the hard way up until recently. So what I'm telling y'all is rest is super important, and you'll hear that from me until you stop hearing me. Putting the phone down, also super important. While it's great to stay up to date on what's going on, like watching videos like this, or getting updates about the latest news or latest events, you know, the weather, pop culture, whatever it is that you check social media for, it can also be very harmful if you don't take a break from it. I know for me, there have been days or like really a good amount of time where I have put the phone down just because something traumatic happened and someone's name was all over my timeline, or pictures of someone was all over my timeline, or videos, which I really am not a fan of, because personally I feel like videos shouldn't be, it's harmful. I understand the purpose of people posting the videos, but I feel like for everyone on your timeline to be reposting it and things like that, it can be super harmful. So make sure that you're balancing your social media intake. And that could be anything, really, from Instagram to Twitter to news articles, whatever it may be. Balance is super important in every area of your life, really. But I find, especially for me, to find balance in how much time I'm spending on my phone. So just keep that in mind. Daily self-care routine. Y'all know how big I am on self-care. I've donated a whole, I've devoted a whole day to self-care Saturday. But I'm the type of person that has to do it every day. And that's one of the biggest ways I've been coping with racial trauma. So I do a cup of tea. I got my tea right here. Every now and then I'll take a hot bath with some Epsom salt, some bubbles, some nice music, candles and stuff. Or going for a walk, staying active. So definitely exercise, and whatever that looks like for you. Because I'm not the type of person that wants to run miles and lift weights and stuff. But I will do a yoga pose or two. I will just get out and be active, keep moving. It's very helpful to me, and it can be very helpful for you all. Yes, I love that y'all are relating to this. Yes, the body is the vessel of our spirit. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. And so that leads me to my next thing. Prayer and being spiritually healthy has been incredibly helpful. So just making sure that I'm staying prayed up, and just whatever, really spiritual health, whatever that looks like to you. So maybe you meditate once a day, or maybe you have, really whatever that looks like to you. I'm not even going to name things, because that, what that looks like. So I definitely want to make sure that I am, one with myself, and, one with God, and just feeling like, okay, no matter what else happens, I know that he has it all in control. He is in control of all of it. And so finding something to put your hope in, to put your faith in, just hoping for better and not giving up that hope. I know a lot of times it gets frustrating and it feels like things won't get better, and it feels like things are just going to be how they are forever and ever, because that's sometimes how it looks and sometimes how it feels. But just know that things will get better. Things will get better. And so just if you have to keep saying that to yourself, do some affirmations, whatever you need to do, just tell yourself over and over again, especially if you're feeling anxious or fearful or angry. So things will get better. Things have gotten better. We are not where we used to be, but we still have a very, very long way to go. So just keep encouraging yourself, and encourage your friends and family, encourage people close to you. Just keep everybody lifted up and encouraged. It's super important. And then I have healthy distractions. So I love me a good binge. I will tell y'all that right now. I love a good binge on Netflix. I finished Sister in like 2 weeks. Probably could have done it faster. So just knowing, okay, what are some healthy ways that I can distract myself? And notice the emphasis on healthy. So while I may, binge watch on something, I will make sure that if I have responsibilities, I will get those done. I will do what I need to do, and then I will, take this time to relax, because I don't want to be all relaxed out and all binged out. I know all these different episodes and everything are on and everything, but I haven't done the things that I need to do. So make sure that you are, like I said, finding healthy distractions for yourself. If you like to walk in nature, or you like you like birds, or whatever the case may be, playing basketball, playing video games, online shopping is another thing that I do. I don't always, buy things, but I will fill up a cart real quick. And I know I'm not the only one that does that. And so that's super therapeutic for me personally. Like, retail therapy has always been my thing, whether or not I'm window shopping or I'm filling up my basket, it's helpful to me. So find something that's helpful to you, that's healthy for you, and, do that. Distract yourself sometimes, because that's really what you need sometimes, is a good distraction. And then also some things that I was thinking to, that I'm trying to work on doing, but I haven't been that great at yet. Because it's a journey. Healing is a journey, so you'll get there in time. Is journaling, and I heard a lot of my friends and family do it, and they say that it's incredibly helpful. I know it to be incredibly helpful because I've had clients that I've recommended it to, and they've told me that it's been helpful. And so stick with it. My issue is consistency. I need to be more intentional about it. But I'm sure once I get started, that anger will be gone. With the stroke of a pen, the anxiety, the fear, all of that. So whatever you're feeling, get that out, y'all. Get it out. Like, channel it. That's what I mean when I say channel that energy into something healthy. Channel that energy into something creative. Whatever you're gifted with, whatever you feel, hey y'all, whatever you feel like, you makes you feel alive, makes you feel happy, brings you joy. Do that. Do that. Because during this time, it can be extremely, extremely stressful without it. Hey y'all, I see y'all coming in. Thanks for joining me. Let's see what some people are saying. Yep, journaling is so good. I'm gonna get on it, I promise. Crafting helps me, and reading. Yes. I love a good crafting session. So stay tuned for that. I don't know. And reading too. I'm trying to get some new books. Journaling after meditating is great. I agree. And it really, once you meditate, I feel like everything after that is just like, oh, this is so good. Because you're relaxed and you've meditated and your mind is clear. So, yeah. So I'm here to chat with y'all, honestly. If y'all have any questions, I'm trying to think of anything else I can say. I'm sorry if I talk super fast. I was really excited about doing this. And I'm hoping that this was helpful. Please let me know if it was, if it wasn't. I really just want honest feedback. And I would love to do more of these with different topics. So if there is any topics about referring to mental health, in the Black community, please don't hesitate to DM me or reach out to me. I would love to come up here and just chat with y'all. I'm trying to think of something else I can share. I can review for y'all. I'm gonna review for y'all because reviews are good. Just in case you forgot. So for me, I have experienced a few different emotions, a few different feelings due to racial trauma. The first one I talked about was anxiety, so worrying about my safety and the safety of those I care about. The second one was fear. So literally the anxiety is fueling this behavior of fear where I avoid leaving my house, or avoid a cop if I see a cop, or I see those flashing lights behind me and I'm just like, oh my gosh, he's gonna pull me over, they're gonna pull me over, and they go right past me. But my heart is beating fast. I'm feeling, those things in my stomach, all those, like a mini panic attack, really. It's not to that extreme, but it's to the point where I feel nervous. I feel anxious in a way that I should not feel. But because of the color of my skin and because of all the things that are happening right now due to other people's colors of their skin, it's just a natural reaction. So know that you're not alone with that feeling. Oh, we have a question. Do you have any advice as we go into the fall, winter months and seasonal depression, especially after this summer? Okay, so that is a big thing. And I feel like this year, 2020 alone, and this summer has just been really, really extreme. So someone that might have been doing real good and just like, oh yeah, everything's going kind of bad, but I'm still here, I'm still kicking it. And that might be you. But you also might be the type of person that like Taya NP said, in the fall and winter months, seasonal depression kicks in, and that is real, and that looks different for everyone, really. And so I'd say do what you're doing, like build a self-care routine now if you don't already have one. Find different things that you enjoy doing that are helpful, that can help you in this process. So if you're depressed, journaling helps. Make sure that you're doing journaling. If you're depressed and music helps, make sure you're listening to music. Just find something that you know will work for you and do it. Do it often as you can. And assuming that we will be in the house even more this year, just find a way to make your space home for you. I know a lot of people were displaced or had to go back home maybe, and that may not be a great space for you. So find a way to make that place home, wherever it is. No matter how temporary it is for you, no matter if you don't like the people that are there, just find a way to make it home. And so when you are by yourself, or you feel that depression causes you to feel like you're alone, or you have no one to talk to, you can recognize, okay, I have myself. this home, this space that I've created, these things that I'm doing to cope are part of my healing. And I will get to where I need to get to in time. Just take it a day at a time, literally, is what I've been doing. And I'm literally just taking it a day at a time. So if you have seasonal depression or just persistent depression, episodes of depression, take it a day at a time. Please, just take it a day at a time. Hey, y'all that are still coming in. I really appreciate y'all being here. And if you're watching this after I did the live, I still also appreciate you being here. Y'all, I hope that y'all are doing well wherever y'all are. Tell me where y'all are at, actually. I should have done that. I should have led with that. But where are some of y'all located right now? I see a lot of y'all in here. I'm really grateful. And I know, here it's raining and it's really gloomy, but I'm not gonna let that, dim my light or ruin my spirit, because I'm alive today and I have made a vow to use every day that I'm alive to the best of my ability. And so try to do that too, put some purpose to your day, no matter how small. New York, Virginia, okay, I see y'all. Atlanta, hey Atlanta. Let's see, San Francisco. Oh, okay, hello. What's one thing you learned about yourself through 2020 so far? Whew. That's a deep question. What's one thing you learned about yourself through 2020? I think I actually talked a little bit about this in the article that I wrote that's on my website, melanatedandmisunderstood.com. But it's about how I've been coping with COVID and realizing that I literally have control over about 0.5% of my life. And so just having to come to terms with that and make peace with that, really. And just being like, it's above me now, honestly. And like I said, living each day like it's my last, because before I was trying to control everything, and I learned that about myself, that I'm very big on control. It makes me less anxious. It makes me feel like things will work out as I want them to, because I will make them happen. And life doesn't happen that way. Life doesn't work that way. And so 2020, it sat me down literally and just basically showed me throughout the year that things will go as they are supposed to go. And we just have to kind of just move with it the best that we can. So that's definitely one thing I learned about myself. Control of knowledge. Yeah, it's real. It's unfortunate and it makes us stressed, but it's real. Do you have any playlists or Spotify or that find really uplifting when we're down? I actually have a few playlists that I created for each mood on my website. You scroll down to the bottom, it says playlists, but I can definitely link that in my story for y'all. But yeah, I have some playlists on my page. I have one for feeling good, one if you're feeling bad, one just to listen to if you just really need to breathe. And there are a lot of instrumental. I'm a big fan of instrumentals, especially jazz. So there's a lot of jazz in those playlists, but I'm definitely working on making those longer. So definitely add those to your library and see what you get. God is in control. I know that's right. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, thanks about the playlist art. Thank you for sharing that. What are your plans for the future? Ooh, sis, how much time do you have? Well, let's talk short goals. So short goal. Short term. It's been a long day. Short-term goals and plans for Melanated Misunderstood. I would like to do more videos like this if y'all like them. Y'all have been really responsive and interactive, so thank you so much, because I did not know how this would turn out. So hello, and thank you. I want to do some DIY videos. I'm really big on, like I said, self-care, so I'm looking into doing some videos for masks and things like that. Let's see what else. Maybe some collabs. I'm all about, helping everybody else eat. So I want to bring more people from the Black community, Black artists, Black businesses, all of those things, just bring them in. So definitely that. But really my plan is, like I said, I'm taking everything a day at a time. So my plan is just to spread the word, spread awareness, spread really anything that I can that's positive and helpful to the community that can help eliminate stigma around mental health. So yeah, great question. Y'all got the questions today. Thank you for commenting on my playlist. Sorry, I really appreciate it. How do we find Black therapists near us? Well, I also have a resources page on my website, but you can always go to I actually have a lot of different therapist websites or databases, I guess I should say, on my resources page. And what you would do is you just go on those sites, like Psychology Today or Good Therapy, Therapy for Black Girls, and then Open Path Collective is better if you need kind of like sliding scale type things. So go on there and you can look therapists up by what their specialties are, by their location too. So that would help you, and just look it up by the zip code. So like I said, I'll put my website in the comments I guess I could do it now. And you can visit the resources page and everything's connected. So you can just it'll link you to the actual, resources page, the different resources. So I'll put that in here for y'all. Let's see. When does Art, Mind, and Soul come back on? That's in the work. It's in the works. It's in the works. I took a little break from that because I'm not a big fan of doing things just to do them. And so I was feeling moved to do different things like this. And so that's taken my time and my attention away from Art, Mind, and Soul. But the first season is up there and it's available. And I already have some stuff for the next season. So definitely stay tuned for that. You're doing an amazing job. Loved your interviews as artists. Thank you. Y'all are sweet. Y'all are so sweet. I really appreciate all this support that y'all are giving me. I don't want to keep y'all too long though. So do y'all have any more questions or comments or thoughts? Like I said, this video, hopefully if Instagram works correctly, it will be available. So you can come back and watch this really anytime. Comment, DM me, just hit me up, email me, visit my website because I worked really, really hard on that website. So please visit the website and there will be more stuff on the website. I promise. Like I said, I'm not being pulled in different directions, but I'm basically pulling myself in different directions. So I'm trying to just like focus on one thing at a time. So thank y'all for just being here and being you and being amazing. You're glowing. Oh, y'all are sweet. What's been a memorable part of your journey in mental health studies? I think, and I kind of knew this already, but actually being able to study and being in a program and everything like that, I got to see that a lot of the work out there that they're doing on mental health is not for us. It is not done by people who look like us. It is not, the representation is just not there, unfortunately, especially in the counseling field. And so while myself included, there are a lot of people who came with my class that were women and men of color that are out there now. We are just starting. So a lot of times we won't be able to help, right away, the people that really need the help. And so I've always been not worried, but I've always just felt like mental health is just really a delicate subject, especially in the Black community. And I feel like one thing that really stuck out to me, that really caused me to, it kind of put a fire under me really, was recognizing that there is no way, it's not created for us. The system was created, but it wasn't created for us. So all of the different trainings that they're doing, they need it to be diversified. Somebody needs to sit down and be like, well, Black people don't necessarily, and that being said, you cannot look at one Black person and say, oh, I know how every Black person thinks. Like there's no way that a Black person can be the spokesperson for Black people. But a lot of times people from other races have made that assumption. And so some of the things that we learn in classes and some of the things that we're taught to do, it may not be helpful to people that look like me or look like you. And so I think that was definitely a big memorable part of my journey, because like I do it for my people, because who else is going to do it? So yeah. Yes, and everyone please vote. No, please. You need to register if you are not registered, and you need to vote if you are registered. Do it by absentee. Do it however you need to do it. Make sure it happens, because there is a lot going on and a lot that needs to be changed. So please exercise your right, a right that we did not always have, a right that people lost their lives for. Just exercise that right. I'm not even gonna go on that tangent, but just exercise your right to vote. Thank you, Butterfly Fan 13, for reminding everyone to vote. Thank you for your work. We appreciate you. I appreciate y'all too. I really, really do. I love y'all so much, and I could be up here talking to y'all all night. But I'm gonna let y'all go, and I'm also gonna go and just lay down and relax. I hope that y'all have a great, great, amazing rest of your evening or rest of your day, whatever time it is where you are. And I hope that y'all are being well and taking care of yourselves. Remember some of the things that I said, and remember to take rest and be kind to yourself. Y'all have a great night. Bye-bye.